Now, we have a Tasia here. Felt like a filler episode.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
You didn't watch the fucking movie.
No.
This past weekend, I was able to watch Jujutsu Kaisen Execution. Now, this was my first time ever watching an anime movie in theaters, and I can honestly say that this was actually a pretty good experience. I was able to see people cosplay as Sukuna. I seen some people dressed up as Yuji. There was people outside the movie theater talking about the movie, and I thought it was just a pretty cool experience, you know, because I didn't really know there was like a lot of nerds like me in my area, but that's besides the point. For those that don't know, this movie is actually 45 minutes of a recap, and then you get the first 2 episodes of the Colon Games arc. Now, like I said, the first 45 minutes was a recap, and Lord knows I needed that recap because honestly and truly, I forgot so many notable names from Maki, to Toji, to Toto. Toto of all people, I forgot his name. I don't understand how I did it, but I might just be a fake fan. Who knows? My excitement for this movie was at an all-time high because, again, this was my first time ever watching an anime movie in theaters. And 2, I really wanted to see the Colon Games arc. As someone who doesn't read the manga, and I purposely do not read the Jujutsu Kaisen manga for reasons like this, I did not know what to expect out of the first 2 episodes of the Colon Games arc, but we're going to actually talk about this movie. So let's get right into it. So, like I said, this movie showed the first 2 episodes of the Colon Games arc, and I can tell you that the star of this movie was 100% Chozo. Now, Chozo had the humor. This guy was serious. He was literally banging with the new character that I'm not going to speak on because I don't want to spoil it for you, but that man Chozo is a lot fucking stronger than I thought he was. You know, I thought Chozo was a little pushover, but Chozo, that guy, I can't lie, he's moving up in my Mount Rushmore for JJK characters right now because that guy actually showed the fuck out in this movie. Now, if I had a co-star for this movie, it definitely had to be Yuta. Top 3 strongest characters in the whole fucking show, maybe top 2, but damn, I didn't know he was like that. Like, Yuta was moving so different in this movie, bro. Like, his abilities crazy. I already knew about Rika, of course, we all know about Rika, but Yuta himself, he was talking crazy. He was on the fucking timing, bro. He was on the fucking timing. They don't let the smile fool you though, because he ain't a pushover either. But Yuta was actually a co-star for me. He was really, really good in this movie. And those first 2 episodes, like, man, when he pulled up on Yuji, it got serious. But I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. If I had a rating for this movie, I would have to give it an 8 out of 10. This movie wasn't too crazy. It wasn't like mind-blowing. It wasn't like a Dragon Ball Super Broly like type big of movie, but the episodes being in this movie was pretty big. I think an 8 out of 10 for this movie is pretty fucking solid. I think the movie did a good job with the recap because, again, Lord knows I needed to recap because I forgot so many things being an anime only, which I feel like I do need to read the manga, but that's neither here nor there. It was solid. I like the build up for the Colon Games. I will say, if you guys do go watch this movie, man, once you get to the end of it, bro, they're gonna try to explain the Colon Games, and literally you have to have the eyes of fucking Speedy Gonzalez because literally the rules of the Colon Games is literally just gonna fly past your eyes quick as hell. I couldn't even keep up. Even everybody in the movie theater was like, what the fuck? Can we get a rewind? But yeah, it's just an 8 out of 10, and I think that's a more leveled rating for this movie. With the first 45 minutes being a recap, you know, that kind of knocked the rating down. But the 2 episodes, seeing Yuta in action, seeing some other characters in action, seeing Chozo look as good as he did in those 2 episodes, man, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. So yes, I think an 8 out of 10 is solid. Now that my review is over, I would like to go and look at other people's reviews and get my opinion on it. This is the part of the video where I warn you that if you want to be spoiled, if you want to see spoilers, that is on you. I'm warning you now. Before you leave this video, make sure you leave a like. What are you doing? But yes, we're about to head over to Rotten Tomatoes and read some reviews. So if you do not want to be spoiled in this video, this is a disclaimer. I'm giving you the opportunity to leave right now or forever hold your peace. If you want to forever hold your peace, let's get right into it. So as you guys can see, we are on the Rotten Tomatoes website, and it looks like the people like you and me, the watchers, the viewers, not actual verified critics, say that this movie is at 80%. So pretty much that's an 8 out of 10. Like I said, this movie wasn't extravagant. It wasn't the craziest. It wasn't bad either. It was just right. It was just a solid movie, and 8 out of 10, 80% is actually pretty solid for this with the recap being there. I really do feel like this is a fair rating, but let's actually read some reviews because I'm actually interested in what people have to say. So we're going to start with Miss Arlene here. She said half of the movie was a recap and the other half was new material. Disappointing. Now, Mappa themselves didn't state it, but it was stated all over the internet that the first half of the movie was going to be a recap and the next half was going to be the next 2 episodes of the Colon Games or the new episodes of the Colon Games. Now, I can understand that a lot of people aren't on the internet. They're not on Twitter. They're not on the threads. They're not on all these platforms. So I can understand why she she may have been disappointed. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip that one, and I'm gonna just keep moving on. So I want to scroll down. I want to see this one because this one is pretty long. They actually gave it a 5 star, so I'm very interested on what they have to say. This person said, don't go into the movie thinking it's a standalone all new content. It's a very nicely done 1 hour of season 2 recap, plus the first episode of season 3 transitioned very nicely. Now it's the first 2 episodes, but that's not here nor there. For what it was, they did a great job. Just wish I had known it was that type of movie. I could have waited for season 3 to come out January 8th, to be honest, but nonetheless, it was a great way to remind me of the events that happened and gave me a fresh start to go. Oh my gosh, why is the formatting like this? You see this? Like the I starting here and then the actual into.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal.
Let me reread this sentence. But nonetheless, it was a great way to remind me of the events that happened and gave me a fresh start to go into the next season without rewatching all of it. And you know what? I can definitely understand that because like I said at the beginning of the video, I needed to recap because I forgot so much shit. Now, we have a Tasia here. Felt like a filler episode.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
You didn't watch the fucking movie.
No.
She didn't watch the movie. Moving on. We have a Michael C here. Very disappointed in this movie. If that even is the right word for it. The first hour was just recapping everything that happened in season 2. That's fair. Mappa didn't say that. I can get where a lot of people get frustrated with this kind of stuff because that actually wasn't stated by the actual animation company themselves, and that we had to find out through third parties. You know, a lot of people are just not all over the internet like that. Like me, I'm on the internet. I'm trying to make it an occupation. Michael goes on to say, I was flabbergasted that it took so long to make it to the new content. Once we finally got there, just okay, barely in the conflicts, just some no stakes combat below the action quality of regular episodes. Okay, I can understand what he's saying. Like I said, this movie wasn't extravagant. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't mind-blowing. It wasn't like the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Like, it was nothing crazy like that. It was a good build-up. You know, I like to see lore. I like to see the fights. The fights are cool, but the lore is what makes a lot of these shows. And I get it. This guy maybe came into the movie thinking that, oh yeah, we're going to get a whole hour and 20 minutes of new content and then we get a recap. So I can understand why he gave it a 2 stars. That's fair. I give it that. That's a fair assessment there. Continuing on, he also said, looked bad and had none of the emotion of fights previous. Michael, you're losing me. When the final scene cut to credits, my entire theater had an audible what the fuck hand raising moment that it actually ended where it did. Just awful. Do not see in theaters. And I just brought this up. Like when you get to the, not the end credits, but like the ending part, it had a segment where it was trying to tell you how the Colon games would work. It had a whole fucking paragraph and it disappeared within 0.2 seconds. I did not understand that. You know what, Michael C, you have a fair assessment. I can understand your frustration, especially for somebody that may not be on the internet as much, may not go surfing the web to see how the movie's going to turn out. I get it. Michael, your opinion, it's valid.
Approved.
I hope Jess is a girl because I'm going to say she. She says the beginning was a recap, which was a little long, but still nice to watch. It was fairly long. Maybe it wasn't 45 minutes. Was it really an hour? It's essentially like a mini chapter before the Colon games, which they hit briefly before the end. With that, oh my gosh, that says with that. With that being said, it does answer some questions about what happened to who and an introduction to some new characters. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a have to in the big, what the fuck? Okay, let me reword it. I'm gonna use my talents of rewording and paraphrasing things. She says she enjoyed it, but she wouldn't necessarily say that it's a must watch on the big screen. Like if you wanted to wait until the actual Colon games came out on Crunchyroll, wherever you watch anime at, do that. And I can agree with that. I can 100% agree with that. If you enjoy the story, it's a good watch. If you miss it, I wouldn't worry. And that's a fair statement. That is a very fair statement. Jess, your opinion, valid.
Approved.
For those who actually watched the movie, let me know what you think about Jujutsu Kaisen Execution in the comment section down below. Was it a W, was it a L, or was it like in the middle for you? Like, was it just okay? I give it an 8 out of 10. I was leaning towards 7 out of 10, but that recap really pushed it up to 8 because I needed that. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this movie, man. With that being said, guys, it's your boy Asafumis. And like I always say, I'll see you on the next one.